everyone. Do you want an intro or me intro?
Are we live?
We'll be live in a second. You?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll let you. You can take the honors. Normally,
Yeah. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the 007 edition of the New Old School podcast.
The New Old School.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening on a Thursday.
It is Thursday evening.
Welcome back.
Around 8:15. We're running live on Facebook as well again, and we are streaming on Twitch today as well. So that will be interesting. We have a bunch of new ways to communicate. So guys, if you want to interact with us on the live stream, we will try to get to you, but we can't promise because we also have an agenda that we want to follow.
What is this agenda?
Just topics that we have to talk about.
Oh, yes.
So another thing that we'll do is probably toward the end of this podcast interact more so with you guys, so that way we can dialogue skis. But you can tweet us or tweet us on Twitter.
TNOS
podcast. Yeah. TNOS podcast is our Twitter. You can follow us on there. You can follow me at Lurk City. My name is David. I go by Lurk City. And my co-host is...
My name is Jonathan. Normally you call me JP, but whatever. There's been a lot of names. People call me asshole sometimes.
And that's who the fuck we is. All right.
Well, thank you for joining us. The number 7. Good intro, guy.
Yeah.
You want to plug anything else?
Do I want to plug anything else right now?
We're reporting live from Canada.
I'm twerking it.
As usual.
Oh, well, yeah, I do actually. Next Tuesday is the spoiler room on the 29th at Blue Water. I have Alberto Diaz, who was in the last live stream. And then I also have Meg Moon, known as Booty Boo. That's Vlad the Inhaler's girlfriend. So she'll be spinning alongside myself. After that, and the spoiler room is also, a live streamed event, just like everybody is. We're having live streamers all day long. Then after that, on the 30th, you have the San Holo show. I'm opening up for San Holo, so that'll be Dizzope. And there's a lot more shows that are gonna come out as well with at Pure, so that'll be dope.
Will DJ Tigerlily be there?
No. That's funny you bring that up now.
I'm not sure. There was a reference with that.
Why I told you to bring that up?
Right.
Okay. Well, so
who is this?
Today, DJ Tigerlily is going to be the next biggest thing, probably. She was basically a DJ, an Australian DJ, who is pretty out there on social media, I guess you could say. So she shares a lot of her life with her fans and whatever. Now, I've never heard of her before today at all. So, this is the first time I'm ever hearing of DJ Tigerlily today. She had a nude leak or something like that she took of herself on Snapchat or on a friend's Snapchat, and it was released. So, another thing that I heard, and I don't know if this is true or factual, but either way, that she took the picture and they kind of scribbled out her goodie bits, like with the little drawing or the sticker thing.
The notes.
Right. But it was hacked, so that was removed apparently. So that wasn't the ideal picture they had up. But I posted about it earlier, and I was like, if you get a nude leak, that's you. That's on you. If you put that out there, you put that out there.
People really don't care. They do it accordingly.
Hashtag dick pic.
Right.
If you send a dick pic out,
hope for the best, plan for the worst. Normally, that's gonna be out there.
Everyone does it. Everyone does it. So it's not like, who cares? Like, I don't know. Not everyone does it, but a lot of people do it. And if you're doing it to one person, what does it matter if you do it to everybody?
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't know.
All I'm saying is, if you're like, I'll be upset if she blows up because of this stupid shit. Hopefully it just fades away and I go back to not hearing who this person is, because I don't know the extent of her DJ career, and I don't know if she's a well-known DJ. Yeah. So what I'm saying to that would be, I just hope she doesn't become like, oh, the next biggest thing off of some stupid bullshit, because then I'll lose respect for a lot of stuff.
But last week we touched up on the Lala lineup, just the main headliners. Now that the entire lineup is out.
Most stacked festival of the summer, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it is a 4-day event like Bonnaroo, and the lineup looks amazing. I'll agree with that.
We're gonna have to move your laptop to the side so you can get in front of the microphone. There you go. Because that's why I'm louder.
We need a decorator.
We don't need a decorator. To be honest with you, I wanted to discuss a little bit on how this podcast, like the whole like to do with this podcast. There's a lot to do with this little setup we got going on in here. If you walked in here and didn't know any better, you'd think it's a makeshift studio. It kind of is.
It does look like it.
I mean, there is horrible backdrop.
Right.
Horrible backdrop. Yeah. Welcome to my garage, everybody. So that's what we're rocking in.
This week is my spring break. Forever.
What were you talking about, Lollapalooza?
Well, I mean, the whole Lala lineup is good.
To be honest with you, it's probably too big.
Well, if they're gonna do 4 days, these are the entire lineup is just good.
But you'll miss a lot of people.
Right.
That probably isn't good.
Well, you know, you have to divide up the. Do we have the AC blowing before?
The AC, I don't know. I don't know if the AC's ever been on. But yeah, go ahead. The lineup.
No, I think it'll let people divide up. Those main shows that you'd probably be going for won't be as crowded. I don't know.
I guess, but the only problem is you probably miss a lot of people. You probably miss a lot of stuff.
The genres are very good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot of stuff that I'd like to see that are a lot of different genres. Electronic bands, other things. It's a really stacked lineup, but they're sold out of general admission, right?
Yep. Immediately, every year. I think it was 4 hours, something like that.
MJ's in.
Welcome in.
MJ, pour yourself a whiskey. Join us.
Everybody from AT&T is here.
I know, right? Holler back. But going on with what you said, that would be a good festival to go to. But from what I've heard also about festivals in Colorado, in Chicago, in that area, in that park, it's just not as good because it's kind of tight.
Yeah, it is. It's actually pretty narrow. It's right in front of the lake. Then it runs parallel with the Soldier Field. That is the new Canadian flag.
This new one, it's got my poster on it.
Right.
We should stop. All right, we're going to break from talking to you guys for a second. Go back to the podcast.
That's awesome. I mean, other than that, yeah, I think I'm debating on which one.
Which one?
Right. Well,
Bonnaroo or that?
Bonnaroo. Or that.
Bonnaroo, man. I got to go make it my 5th. I got to go do it. There's a lot of good stuff there, too. It's a good lineup.
You have the 15th year for Bonnaroo. 25th year for Lala.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be pretty dope.
It is. It'll be pretty interesting. Man, you know, I wish I could go to a lot of festivals. Like, there's a lot that I like to try out and a lot that I like to check.
I agree. They're on my list.
Well, I mean, you've only been to a handful.
Yeah.
Because you've only recently started to do the festival deal, so.
Normally the just concert after concert.
Concert after concert after concert after concert.
Back to back. Didn't you say after this podcast you're gonna go check out the new Batman and Superman flick?
No.
What?
Is that out today or something?
Comes out tonight.
Fuck that. I'm not really interested in that. Dude, I'm not interested in a lot of those things.
Reviews.
Yeah, I'm not interested in getting into like comic book movies anymore. I don't know why. I think we've talked about that on the podcast before.
No, I think so as well. But now this is like a huge event with it already being like, I think it was.
You know what? Fuck it. We should have saw it, then did the podcast, and just spoiled it for everybody.
That'd be dope. I think we know what happens.
Superman and Batman just become friends, probably fight crime together.
Justice League unites. I don't know.
I've read the book. I think
read
I've
the
seen a
book.
couple of them.
I've seen this movie. And normally you would say that they're like real movie books or adaptations. But now you can take it with the comic books.
Yeah, and you know the thing that what's really weird about comic books too is that I'm not a big fan of is how many fucking X-Men's are there? Yeah, what is there? How many generations of X-Men's are there? It's like they fucked Pokemon up too and added 600 fucking more Pokemon or something like that.
They got some more cards. Who knows? Good
lord. Like, I will admit, I was into the Pokemons, right? I'm into the Pokemon Go we just were talking about earlier.
Isn't
so
the app's supposed to come out soon. They released some kind of screenshots.
Yeah.
And then some more detail.
That'll be good. That's going to be a geo-specific game making me run all over town catching fucking Mewtwo's and Pikachus.
Feel like that's dangerous.
Probably. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
They already have games like that, though.
Mom, we need to go to the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be like that. You're going to have cell service out there.
Squirtle. You got to catch him.
You'll be at a lake somewhere.
Hey, you never know. What is I watched a little bit of that.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
Oh, man, dude, I was super duper into it. I was like 9th grade, and I was fucking stupid into it, yeah. I had the video games. I had the cards. I was into it. I mean, my first website I ever made, I was probably like 14, 13 years old. Okay, I lied. My first one was a BMX page website. My second one, which made me think that I can actually do websites, because it became like people would go to it, but it wasn't like popular by any means. It was a Pokemon website.
Really?
David's Pokemon page.
I would have never guessed.
Because I'm a baller like that. I'm a boss ass.
Do you consider that baller status?
When you got a fucking level 64 Squirtle that you haven't...
I have no...
You haven't upgraded or you haven't... what do they call it?
The evolving?
Evolved, yeah. When you haven't evolved it, yeah.
Evolution.
But anyway, now to get back on track with the Superman movie, I don't really give a shit about that. And I don't like the fact that there's so many different storylines, and they're raping the actual storyline for these original movies and ideas and stuff. But I guess the comic books also rape the storylines with doing multiple different versions and alternative universes and all that other sort of shit.
Well, I think different artists start drawing the book, and then it's their version of it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Or they just branch off. Who knows? Like, how many Spider-Mans do you need?
Yeah. That's the first one.
He's a spider.
That's the first one I started noticing, yeah.
And he's getting cast again. They're not doing another to the Amazing version of it. I think that one was
Who's the one in the new one right now?
Oh, it's going to be some...
New guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Teenager guy, I think.
Yeah, I saw a funny meme, because, everyone's losing their shit about the eyeballs moving. Okay, so I guess I never paid too much freaking attention to I never paid too much attention to it, but I guess on the suits for Spider-Man, the eyes never moved in the movies, right? But they move in the comic book, and to show his what would you call it? Your expressions, or your facial expressions. So yeah, so they had like the eyes move and everyone lost their shit. Well, someone put a picture of that dude's face who's playing him, and he put it with the mask of that scene of where his eyes are big and when his eyes shrink down to small.
Right.
And so they kind of put his eyes where they should be, and they're like further apart. Like if his eyes were moved further outward, it would match up with the costume's eyes. So it's interesting how someone will explain how that works. Because his eyes don't line up with the suit's eyes. Yeah.
That would make sense.
You are freaking out, man. Speaking of that, where's number 2 at?
Well, didn't they do a Kickstarter for that?
Yeah.
Originally?
They were
they got it.
super successful at that.
I'm very curious. Let's find out.
Yeah. Google that. You're also going to be like the Jamie of our podcast with your laptop there.
The laptop.
So you can Google things immediately.
To a different
podcast, yeah. They're like somewhat successful. That's a somewhat successful podcast.
It is a very, very. No word. Just as 2016.
Well, that's good. I think they're shooting it now.
Super Troopers.
I think they started shooting it because I think they met their goal within like 10 days of them posting that.
It's amazing what you can do with the Kickstarter.
Crowdsourcing in general, yeah, it's fucking awesome.
I mean, you have the new what's the one downtown?
What? One Spark?
Yeah.
It's not. It's not doing. They're not doing that anymore.
Really?
It's gonna.
I remember reading something about the reorganization.
It's gonna be something different. Yeah.
It's very interesting. No, I was. What was I doing? I was on Instagram earlier, and I guess I have a basset hound. I follow a few dogs. Dogs are great, and there's one for a dog that got injured. I just think that's like people will help out for good causes as well as like, hey, let's make
movie
Aliens 20.
Yeah, if enough people. Well, that's the thing about it. It's because before
all these niches. You know?
But before it was also like if a studio picked up a movie, or if like a record label picked up an artist, or if someone picked up something. Now in the day and age where crowdsourcing is a thing, or just like the internet is also a thing, you can put whatever you want out there, and people will like buy it up.
Oh, yeah.
Like
everybody has a general interest in certain things. I mean, or you have your general interest, then you have your specific, and there's something out there for everybody. Doesn't matter.
Just like you were talking about with your dog. Like, you're on Instagram looking at your dog. Do you have a dog? Do you have an Instagram for your dog?
No.
People do that
Not
shit.
individually.
Like, Dion has one for Jovi. It's called @Jovi the Boxer. Follow it if you want dogs. Anyway, she has that, and she uploads pictures of the dog because she follows other pet Instagrams. You know what I mean?
That's the way it works.
It's cool, man.
Well, you know, I think we also had this talk about people and dogs, and even you know, like it's children nowadays.
Did we just hear thunder?
What is that? Crazy.
Interesting. This is gonna be interesting.
Or not. No, but I mean, like people our age normally would have kids, or you have a dog. I mean, it's.
I have a dog.
Yeah. Me too. I think the older you get, I mean, I'm really curious what parents. I mean, you see the difference, the way your parents were, how you would probably parent your child, or
it's so different.
Even your friends.
It's different now. It's different now for you and I. It's different now for the time that we live in. It's different now for every which way. It's so like there's never been a difference in time in a short span of time than there has right now. You know what I mean? In our lifetime. Right. So like,
well, I mean, especially with technology.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Or just like the internet, or just like the sharing of information, or just like the passing of information, or just like, because now we all see that like, oh, okay, not everyone's having, like everyone's still having kids at the same rate. You know what I mean? Like people are still getting pregnant at 18 and earlier, and they're still doing that. But a lot more people are also not having kids at an earlier age, in their early 20s and stuff. Like for me, I thought I would have a kid by 24, or I wanted to, just because my dad had me at like 24, and I kind of thought that was cool.
Up, you kind of think about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're following your example.
yeah.
The way it goes.
Yeah.
And then you know you're a child of divorce afterward.
Well, that too. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot right now. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. I never thought I was going to be one, and then at age 20, became
like
one.
Huge differences.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying so there. That's one thing besides having kids at a later age. I mean, there's the divorce rate is just as big.
Kids having kids at a later age, the divorce rate is big.
No. I'm saying that now that people are having kids at a older age, but the millennials like our age, they're more prone to being children of divorce. You know, so like all the stay-togethers aren't around as long anymore. It's a different kind of environment.
Oh, you're saying the people that come from a broken home have kids at a later time? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay. Then you lost me.
We'll touch base on this later.
You lost me.
It's been a long day in the sun.
It has. We were also drinking prior to this too. We went to the bar a little bit beforehand.
Well, we checked out Mason. His boat.
Went to Mason's boat. Yeah.
Kind of dope.
Yeah, obviously.
I never thought, like, when he was on here, I was trying to imagine the whole living.
Oh, right, because you had never seen it. Oh, and then like he lives aboard it. He rents it out, pimps it out on the Airbnb, and he literally just got back from his trip. So he's been gone for like 10 days, and of that 10 days, 9 of them were booked. And then, like he was just telling us when we showed up, this afternoon, he had a lady book it for 7 days, and then back out. So, well, whatever on that story, but still, that lady was like, "I'm gonna book this boat for 7 days." That motherfucker's gonna turn that. He's gonna flip that boat.
Might as well
in the summer.
The same premise as.
Woo! We're gonna do the podcast in the rain. Just say fuck it. Yeah.
Open up a garage door.
Nah, it's gonna be way too loud then. I mean, the live stream is gonna be loud for the live stream. The live stream will hear all of that. The microphones probably will hear when the rain starts coming, especially through the garage door. But no, Mason's boat, that shit is dope. Being on that thing is dope. Sailing on that thing is dope. I say dope a lot. I noticed that when we.
You always have a go-to word.
Yeah, dope.
Yeah.
She's freaking out. The dog's freaking out.
Does like thunder?
Nah, that's why she's scratching on the door. Yeah, she's scratching the door.
Like open.
But no, it's cool, and the cool thing is we talked about it on the podcast with him. Watching those YouTube channels, the sailing YouTube channels.
Right. Just making a living off living.
Yeah. It's a different time and age, man. It's a different time and age for a lot of things, and that's one of them. Yeah, I need a boat. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty affordable as well. I mean, considering that if you can get a long-term financing deal on it.
As long as you don't tell them you're living on it. Yeah, as long as you don't tell them that you're going to live aboard it.
Really?
They'll give you a longer loan so you can just, like, chill.
Nice.
But, I mean, yeah, if you really think about it, like, his boat's not super expensive by any means. It's less than 20 grand. I'm not going to go below it what his boat costs, but it's less than 20 grand. And he lives on it. He pays, like he told you, it's like $400, $500 or whatever for the slip per month. Right. That's basically it. There's water and electricity and all that stuff, Plus get the amenities for the marina. But yeah, $20,000 and there you go. And you can go anywhere. I can't stress that enough. The boat will take you anywhere.
Yeah, but sometimes you just want to hang out.
Oh yeah, for sure. I totally agree. But anywhere. It's like having a plane. It's like having a plane that is free to fuel and takes super duper long.
That makes it. It's economic overall. I think he's got the right idea, man. We're talking about living a little smaller. I'm just too much of a convenient person sometimes, I guess. Yeah,
a lot of people are.
But even whatever you get used to, as soon as you're used to it, that's your standard.
Mm-hmm. So, it's different. It's like, okay, if you think about it, because we've done.
I didn't know it was going to rain this year.
I didn't know it was going to rain. That's just a wind right now. That's just a wind. We're hearing wind. We're going to go through a tsunami or a typhoon, hurricane, tornado, something. And it is whipping right now. But yeah, if you can, like, okay, let's say you drop 20 grand, get the boat, you just have a slip. Not even that. If you really, really wanted to be legit about it, you could dock. There's a guy living, like, right outside the marina where he's at, and that's free. You just live there, and he just, like, kayaks in, kayaks out.
Nice.
And Tim did that a couple times. The dude that we used to work with, Tim would just, like, anchor his boat in the inlet and just, like, boop, 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 boop. Either fucking that stand-up paddleboard thing or, kayak in. Or you have a dinghy or whatever. Yeah, for sure. And that's free. Wow. And again, I can't stress this enough. It'll take you anywhere. You can see, like, so much.
No, the podcast you were talking about on the, the YouTube channel? What is the name of that again?
What do you mean, the podcast?
Yeah, for the sailors People
Oh.
making a living off living.
Oh, okay, yeah. Their YouTube channel is SV Delos.
Got it. Check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. They have they're about 65, 66 episodes into their shit. Now you're gonna come into it 7 years later. They're like they put some hard work into that channel. Like,
Yeah, I always think the process of setting up is always going to be a little more strenuous. Once you have the ball rolling, it's well greased.
well that
And the same thing like getting set up for your DJ setups
or the
here.
podcast or anything. Yeah, there's
Well-oiled machine, my friend.
but okay. So there's a different ends of the spectrum. Delos's end of the spectrum is gonna be, or they're like the middle. They're like the you and I's because he's only 38. The main dude is 38, right?
Right.
He did some programming. He lived in Seattle, did some programming, blah blah blah, some tech job. Decided to stop living in a tiny apartment, and he bought a 52-foot sailboat yacht, right? So that goes about $250,000. That's a house, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he lived in it for about a year and a half, and then just decided, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna quit my job, and I'm just gonna go for however long. I think him and his brother went out in the first one, and they sailed from Seattle to about Mexico.
Nice.
Then at some point they went from Mexico and they crossed the Pacific, and
Like over to Australia or Asia.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Australia, New Zealand area, and they just putzed around. But eventually they had to stop, and they worked in Australia for about another year and a half, saved up money, and then they left again. And at this time, they're still editing videos and doing all sorts of stuff for their YouTube channel, but they're not. They never upload anything about them being on land. They never. They do when they're on their adventures,
Right.
but they're not like, oh, we're working in Australia saving up ducats. They're not doing any of that. So
only the good stuff.
Yeah, only the good stuff. But after about 2-3 years, I think they started doing it like full time. They picked up girlfriends and they like brought them aboard like at random spots. It's like 2-3 years ago they met like these random girls separately. They each met a different girl. One's from New Zealand or Australia, and then one's from Sweden or something like that was on vacation. And then they hopped on the boat and they stayed on the boat for like weeks, flew back home, and then at some point they were all separated, and then now they're all together and they're like full on
living in the boat.
couple. Yeah. Both brothers have a girlfriend, and at this point there's 7 people on the boat, and they're only showing us footage from like March of last year, so it's still last year's footage. They're crossing the Indian Ocean right now.
Another place to go.
It's amazing. I don't know could you do it? Could you sail?
Like even being on that boat and hanging out, feeling the waves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I did. I've never been on like a cruise or deep sea fishing or anything like that, and I don't know if I'd handle it. I could fly without a problem.
Really?
I love flying, but I don't know how I feel about.
I'm not into flying. I'm not into flying. I'm definitely not into flying. I can. That's why sailing makes me think like, oh man, I can just say fuck it and just see the world. Yeah, but I'm also scared about the ocean too. It's not like I'm not gonna kid anything.
Right.
Crossing an ocean takes about 20 to 30 days.
If you know what you're doing.
If you know what you're doing,
Exactly.
and if you have wind and if you have to do all this.
I think I've seen too many like movies.
That's the thing, yeah.
Like,
Why do you think I hate flying? Why do you think I hate flying? I've seen too many movies.
I guess so. We all have our vices.
Yeah. But you know what's something about that though? I've been on big cruise ships, and you don't feel it, right? You don't feel the up and down and all this and that. What you do feel is the swaying of the boat.
The left and the right, not the up and the down.
Sometimes, you know what I mean? But on his boat, you can feel it. But I went on the cruise boat too, which is a smaller cruise boat. I'm sorry, the casino boat, which is a smaller cruise boat. Now that the last time I went on one, I was DJing one, and we all had like there was a storm or something out there, and it was really rough, and I got seasick on that. I got seasick on an offshore fishing trip too for like an hour,
Yeah.
and then I was okay.
See, I don't know how like living on one though.
You would get your sea legs at some point though. Right. That's the difference. So it would suck.
I think some people's equilibrium's not built for it.
But see, you don't even know. You haven't been on it.
True. What the hell do I know?
You don't know shit.
I just work here.
But I mean, like, it'd be cool to try out. It would, and I saw another YouTube channel. They sailed. It was a guy and a girl. They just bought a boat, and they kind of knew a little bit about sailing, but they were young, like probably like just graduated college, and they sailed from like the Boston area all the way down to the Bahamas for like 9 months, just chilled out. That one's called Wicked Salty. This is probably not good.
More technical difficulties.
Oh yeah. It just cut out all of that, so we'll have to get the audio off of the something else, off the live stream. So we'll just pull it off the live stream.
All right.
Technical difficulties live in Regin effect.
Well, I think it's still really great that people could do this. I mean, now they launched it for Android last week.
You're talking about live stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. This is going to be like pretty. The Facebook live stream is going to be pretty ingeniously. A good feature for a lot of things, but a bad feature for a lot of things too. Like, what are they going to do about nudity?
Right. I mean, what do they do? Periscope was.
I don't know. Maybe if you get like, reported enough.
Yeah, I guess.
It'd be interesting. I mean, like, because I was thinking.
Will this let you take it away, the audio by itself, or are you gonna have to record it separately with something else?
Are you going back to the...
Like separating it.
Are you going back to the GarageBand issue that we have? Is that what you're talking about? Are you talking about the... Yeah, don't worry about that. I can pull the audio off of the recording.
That's what I was talking about.
Okay, yeah, but we were talking about something else.
I thought we were talking about they were related. No.
The live stream? Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah, I get you. What I'm saying is...
on a different track today.
We may be. I wonder why. It's raining. I'm saying the live stream. I thought about just doing like a Facebook show. We just like do a Facebook show.
Every beer that you're down, my friend. That is social alcoholism.
Wait. If you wizard staff your beers, Dave. Okay. I've never once done that. I've never once done that. Hold on.
Now that it's raining, the boxer is afraid. Big bad dog.
Okay. Jovi's been a bit scared from the thunder and the rain, so we had to let her in. I'm sure Josh is going to appreciate that, though. Throw a share for that, Josh. We just got the dog you love in the podcast.
Now joining us, the third member.
Jovi, come here. Okay, this will be fun. All right. What was the next topic on the list?
We're talking about the whole parenting thing.
Before we get into that, we were talking about art earlier too, and I wanted something. There was a crossover that I wanted to bring this up because it was a good transition into the parenting thing, and then we just got into the parenting thing. So like I was telling you earlier, my dad paints.
Right.
And by all means, he's not like a trained, like master paintsman, or he doesn't.
Just a hobby.
Yeah, it's just like a hobby he's done over the years. He's got an artistic streak in him, I guess, and that's where I get mine too from that side of the family. But so he's been painting for years now, and I showed you the painting that was probably like 10 years old. But I've just talked him into showing other people. Like, I'm like, dude, we should put you on Instagram or something like that. Just put it out there, or put it on Reddit, or Facebook or whatever. And I was like, you should sell some of these to see what they would go for, So it'll be interesting. He's recently agreed to do that.
Did it take him some coaxing? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, don't be afraid. I'll help you do it.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to put yourself out there. And
right. Well, I mean, as an artist, you're always your own worst critic. So, there you go.
Just push it up
Get
on
up
you.
off me. No, I felt like I was done.
You gotta be on that shit.
You're used to talking on the microphone.
I am.
Chug.
You gotta talk into it. But yeah, no, it's
You're
cool.
Be your worst critic.
Yeah,
And putting yourself out.
And
there.
that's what I had to tell him. I was like, you got to get out of your own way all the time. Like, yeah. But I was like, what's the end result? All you keep doing is painting. And then he's not painting like loads of small paintings anymore. He's doing like big canvases. Yeah, like 2 to 4 feet in width and stuff like that. And I'm like, you're going to have all these freaking paintings. What are you going to do with them? Yeah.
You should do the studio.
Yeah, exactly. I could put, he's got just like, you can leaf through them. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I'm like, just put them shits out there, and if someone bites on it, someone's gonna bite on it, and it doesn't matter how much you're selling them for. I mean, like, you spent X amount of time thinking you weren't gonna do anything. You were just having a good time, a beer, getting a little high and painting some marsh. He paints marshes and shit. That's his thing right now. Yeah. So
landscape.
It's pretty good though. Dion's gonna help him.
How many do you think he has at the house?
Ones that he's willing to part with like that.
Right.
He wants to make sure there's 5. He's got 3 now.
Okay.
So, and then Dion's gonna be his art broker kind of individual for like art walks and stuff like that. I was telling him he needs to go down to art walk and put them shits out there. Everyone puts their stuff out there.
Might as well.
You should.
Yeah.
Buster.
If I painted more, I'm getting back into it. It's like time.
That's something that I should pick up.
There's a lot of different mediums you're gonna have to work with, and they all have their own rules.
Mm-hmm.
I think anything you do for a long time, you get well at. I mean, your dad's quality compared to the new stuff. How do you think that is?
I mean, a lot better.
Yeah.
A lot better, yeah, because he started YouTubing.
Colors.
Yeah, he started YouTubing.
Happy trees.
Yeah.
Nice.
He just would follow. Yeah, it's just ingenious. YouTube is like the best thing.
Whatever you want to learn how to do, you can do it.
Yeah. He just went in there and like would see someone painting it. Like he'd watch. He didn't watch Bob Ross. He would watch people that were doing Bob Ross. Yeah.
Watch.
He knows who Bob Ross is.
Bob Ross.
Yeah, but he wasn't following Bob Ross's painting. But he would follow other people like all over the world. He would follow this Russian dude. He didn't even know what the fuck he was saying, dude. He would just follow. Watch this Russian dude on YouTube, and he would paint the same.
Actions.
Yeah.
Speak louder than the words.
Weird shit. We'll have him on here. That would be fun.
I would be interested.
He's got some fucking stories.
That don't they all? I think, just like Aziz did in the Netflix show. He's touching up on.
Wait, what?
The Aziz show on Netflix.
The Osbournes?
No, the Master of None.
Oh, the Aziz.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Ozzy.
No, dude.
Oh.
Aziz.
The Master of None. Yeah, okay. I've seen a couple of this.
He's talking about being first generation and then what our parents went through. I think there's a lot more interesting stories.
It's just so different because time moved so much slower for them.
Yeah.
Oh, it did.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. Never thought of it.
You had to talk. You had to go up to a girl to talk to her.
Not hit him on the DM.
No, Snapchat that pussy. Yeah. Yeah. Like I had a conversation with someone the other day, right? And they were like, I don't even ask. Like, I'll just ask a girl what her name is, and that's all I need. And I just add her on Facebook, and I'm like, that's fucking kind of lame, though. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. But that brings up a good topic. Is that stalkerish to you and I because we're semi-old school?
I guess we may. You never know. We may check it out.
I mean, we've done it. Like Dion, I talked to her via the internet when I lived in Tampa when I was moving back. But I had met Dion in person for years before that. Yeah, so I don't know.
I think maybe the more interaction there is with a person, then it makes it more acceptable.
The Facebook etiquette.
Right.
Yeah.
There's always
social media etiquette and all that. Yeah.
So that would be one of them that doesn't seem as crazy. But, the version that you put out there online, the autonomy of it is just, you have this persona you want. You know, I think it's funny.
No one's
I
uploading fucking
no.
bullshit Facebook pictures.
Get my MySpace back up
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. But
That's crazy how that used to be a thing.
MySpace?
Yeah, just customizing everything.
Oh yeah. The one thing that was cool about MySpace, and I've said it
exactly.
a million times, the music player thing.
Oh yeah.
And being able to put like bands. You know how many bands were found from just like say you found a band, didn't have to be a big band, didn't have to be a signed band. You found a band that had a song on there. You could put that band song on your profile.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Or everyone you create like your playlist or people you would follow, you could check out who they're with, their top 8s.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, well, you could. At first, it was top 4, then it was top 8, and then you could do top 24 at some point.
Wow, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, dude.
24 people that you do not know, just put them up there.
Well, no, you probably
maybe know a few of them.
Yeah, you know some of them at that point, right? I would assume a few friends on Facebook. I mean, friends on MySpace, but who knows? I don't have a lot of friends that aren't on Facebook. You know,
Frozen.
that I don't know. Well, we're not frozen up there, so it's fine, I guess.
Were there any albums on there that you? Is that where a lot of your music came from? Especially when you were starting the Hard Rock Network.
I already had the Hard Rock Network before MySpace. Yeah,
I didn't know that. I thought, you know,
I found my music every which way.
for me, the internet was the biggest thing. I mean, you had, you know,
To be honest with you, what it is this. I never
I would
want.
try a lot more actually if I bought CDs. I remember
What now? What?
the way coming about your music.
Yeah.
We'll get back into that.
No. Wait. Go about it.
The way you would come into your music.
Yeah.
Being online versus really like when I started, it was all about the cassettes, the CDs. You know, just.
Well, yes, having the hard copy and
Right.
shit. Yeah, for sure.
I thought I listened to more music fully because of that.
You mean albums full?
Yeah,
for
well,
sure.
even just songs. I mean, now you can just skip through the songs if you don't like, or you can just jump around with having the iPod or the touchscreen.
Mm-hmm.
My legs.
Itching dog?
No, I think I sprained something.
But like, I would find my music too. Not digging through a record crate like you would normally, but kind of digging through a record crate, but on the internet. Just like scouring the internet for all sorts of. I still do it now, obviously today, like for DJing. I just any which way I can find it. Yeah, that's why I guess I've never been a fan of like the mainstream music. I've never bought into that. There are some tracks that I like that are mainstream, that are decent songs, that are obviously you're drunk at the bar. You're gonna sing.
Well, your top 40s are going to be.
We're halfway there. Oh. Everyone's singing "Living on a Prayer," you know, at some point.
Everybody is. Everybody. Either that or Journey.
Dude, Journey that's the only main. That Limp Bizkit, I've bought in Journey hard.
Why was Limp Bizkit in there?
Because Limp Bizkit showed me music. Showed me I could be in a band.
Fred, we're homies.
I don't know how to explain it. It was just like seeing them in a band, knowing they're from Jacksonville. I was like, I could be in a band.
From Jacksonville.
Yeah. Even though we had bigger bands like 38 Special, I think was from here. Leonard Skinner's from here. Some of the Molly Hatchet. That was one. No, 38 Special. I think it was also Molly Hatchet too.
I don't know about 38.
I think someone from 38 Special was from here. But yeah, it was just it was a cool thing being a high school student, just wanting to, hang out and play musics with your bros.
Correct. Donnie Barnes.
Oh, I was correct about that. 38 Special.
38 Special.
Hell yeah, you know I am. Ben had been known that. You know what else? This is really bugging me out, bro.
I wonder why.
Here, let's just pass time.
More technical difficulties.
More technical difficulties
Yes.
live on air, y'all.
You gotta love it.
Live on air. Live on air. Technical difficulties. We're going to get the live stream back out real quick.
Sounds interesting.
What was that, yeah?
Transformer. The car.
This is kind of sketchy out here. It's kind of scary out here right now with the rain and the thunder and the weird noises. The dog isn't the only one freaked out right now.
This is not looking great.
I got you. We're good. We're good now. We're good.
So,
We are good. No, it froze again, but fuck it. Whatever.
Larry Sanders,
Mm-hmm.
Gary Shandling, the actor, passed away earlier today.
Who?
Gary Shandling.
Show me a picture.
He was the dude. What about Gary now? I forget. This guy.
Oh my God! Yeah. Okay.
66.
Wow.
I feel like
How did he die?
there was some health complications.
With?
Sudden. He died at the hospital, but it doesn't say what issues were going on with it.
Interesting. Interesting. It's weird, man. Like I watched Ides of March. And Philip Seymour Hoffman was in there. Yeah, that was weird. I really liked him as an actor too, so that was weird when he died. I know that guy. Wasn't he the voice? Nah, that was the other dude with the really high pitched voice. I was gonna say, wasn't that the voice of the parrot in Aladdin? But
Oh, Godfrey.
yeah, Gilbert Godfrey was that guy.
Not even close. Aladdin. One of my favorite Disney movies.
Disney movies.
How do you feel about? Yeah, everybody grew up watching this. I think people still watch them.
Mm-hmm.
I like the old animation though.
That was why I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of the new movies because they're not animated like that. I'm not shitting on computer animation by any means.
No.
But it's
There's a lot
just
of-
the allure of it's not there.
Well, there's maybe because the whole artist.
Maybe. But I also do
Yeah,
digital
sure,
art,
brother.
so it's
Yeah.
like, why would I hate on digital art?
You have to evolve with it.
Mm-hmm. It's Christy. Maybe it's because it's so ginormous, huh?
No, maybe the.
Who the fudge knows, bro? Just gonna keep sharing it, get people in here.
It's not gonna show you what the correct.
Got like 6 on there.
Trying to interact without the screen.
You can pull it up, and just so you can see how many people are on there at one time, and then that way we're not interacting all the time with the chat. But you were touching on something earlier about like parenting and stuff like that and having kids. One of the things that I think is really unique about not having kids is getting older and not having kids. Not saying that we're old and we should have kids.
Right.
I think we're at the prime time within this, 5-6 year gap as far as male is concerned to have kids. But it's very interesting, and I'm not shitting on people that have kids by any means. That's just, what it is. But not having a kid at this stage in the game is pretty, like, you have so much more information.
Right. And that may be one of the reasons. I mean, it's difficult to say.
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine having a kid, like a 10-year-old kid, though?
No. Not right now. I mean, I have my dog. I think of him almost as my, like raising something from the very infantile It's crazy. Just the process of maybe having a child right now. It's good, but you gotta kind of weigh out all your other options.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going with that. I've never really stopped to think about it.
Having a kid?
Is what it is.
I mean, I want to be able to be in my kid's life, but I also don't see it like right tomorrow. I don't see me having one tomorrow, but I also don't see myself doing a lot of things that just fucking happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just like
I guess it does. Things happen.
It's weird, man. I'm not against it. It's just, I guess I'd have to be like, whoa, it's happening. And you're like, fuck.
I think whenever you're put in that position, you own it.
I just wouldn't want a lot of things to change either.
Yeah, but you say that now.
I know.
I think that's what we all say is check it out whenever we cross that bridge.
But like, growing up, like when you were growing up and you had like, because our parents, how old was your dad when you were like 10?
No, probably in his late 30s.
When did your mom and dad divorce?
Oh, dude,
Before you were like cognitive?
When I moved back to Jacksonville, it was they weren't divorced, but we separated. I was 6 or 7.
Okay. When did you get a stepdad that was living in the house?
Later. No, not too long later, but a few years.
But your stepdad is the one that you would say raised you kind of like your dad.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to...
You have your biological.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm close with him as well now. But yeah, my stepfather stepped up. I consider him, he has the respect of that title.
Well, I just didn't want to... Because what I was saying is like... I'm also from a broken home, but my home was broken at a later date.
Well, broken is... I think that's...
Well, you know what I mean? Like, you have two dads, technically. You have a biological dad and a dad that raised you, right? What I'm saying is, I don't have two dads, but my dad and mom did divorce at some point, too. Yeah, so what I was trying to say on that note is, growing up, you have, like, the superhero vision of, like, your parents.
Oh, I know what you're saying, yeah.
Right? Okay.
So this is your example.
Right. And you're like, oh, I can't wait to be an adult. And then you're an adult and you don't even know it. But
I want to grow a mustache.
Yeah.
Dad, I like your beard.
He always had a beard for like as long as I can remember. My dad. And then now he doesn't have a beard. Yeah. It's an idiot.
Makes you look younger. That's what it is.
Yeah, I guess. But it's weird now, okay, talking to your dad and being a male and being older than your dad was when you were born. You know what I mean? Because from the age 24 in my life and on, my dad has no idea what that's like. Because I lived a different life from 24 till now.
Yeah, I understand.
So he doesn't understand. Like, not understand, but like, I guess technically he's living that shit now. Because we talk about that shit now. We talk about all his weird things that he does now, single life, 50 plus years old. And by the way, if you think you're not getting down at 50 years old, lies. They're getting the fuck down at 50 years old.
Thanks for the mental image, my friend.
I mean, on anything. Not on just the sex part. On anything. They still hang out and party.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
That you were talking about that. No, I think you should always live your life. I don't care what your age is. But that's funny.
How would your life change right now, though, in having kids? You know what I mean?
I think I just maybe not go out how much. Who knows? Stay in more. Do a little bit of. I don't know. You get serious. I think it's a very serious task.
Having a kid?
Take on, yeah.
Oh, for sure. A lot of people don't even take that shit seriously.
I'm glad some people do.
Me too. Some people do.
But even you got to think of how your parents were handling that as well, like their mental Like, we got kids.
Dude,
We got 3 of them.
okay, first off, I smoke weed. I get high. I think about the weirdest shit. I think about that shit. I think about my parents' shit all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
I think about, like, you don't even know your parents. Like, you don't really know your fucking parents at all. You know your mom and your dad, but you don't know what the fuck they do until, like, your mom and dad divorce at 20 years old, and then, like, you hang out with your dad. Like, you don't know, dude. You don't know. And then they become, like, a different... That's what I was trying to ask you about, like, your... Like, you know...
No, I know what you're saying there.
And it's not a bad thing.
No.
It's just... Fuck. It humanizes your parents like that. Like, you're like, oh, fuck. Me and you are the same person. You just had, like, a small person attached to you for 25 years.
And it's different because it's more intimate. You know?
I just want to be cool as fuck to my kid. I want to look cool to my kid. And my dad looked cool.
Everybody looks cool.
I know. I think it's just... Not everybody. I don't think everybody.
If they're there and they're drying, I think so.
But how do you know you're there? How do you only know that they're there and trying now? Because at the time...
True.
Well, maybe at the time you might have thought differently. Because I don't know what it would be like from your point of view.
Yeah, I don't...
Because you had, like, another dude just call up in your house.
Childhood, overall.
Yeah, well, that's good. And I'm sure a lot of...
Well,
you know, things do happen. So that's just how that is. And like my sister's childhood is much like my younger sister's is much different than mine because the divorce happened at a much different time in her life than it did in mine.
No, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? She was like 13, 14.
Well, you have a different mindset when you're going through it at the time, I think. You know, like certain things are going to be more important to you.
Mm-hmm.
At different ages. Priorities. And that's the whole point of the talk. I mean, figure out your priorities.
What would change about your life if you had a kid, though? Like right now?
A little bit of everything. I mean, what do you mean? Just going out more so than anything?
Yeah, I definitely think going out would be out of the picture. At least, that's what scares me the most about it.
No, I don't think it's bad there.
I think I wouldn't be able to do any like extracurricular musical activity if I had a kid. That's the biggest fear about it, to be honest with you.
Are you getting things popping off?
Huh?
You'd be all right.
No, I mean like it's like the commercial you see. All right, you know it'll work. You'll have the baby. I can still be in the band. It's not an issue.
We're not breaking up, guys.
Yeah, no.
Getting the band back together.
Yeah, no, that shouldn't happen. That's the worst part about it, though. But it also is good too because you might be doing some foul things. Yeah. Bill was like, "I'll tell you what."
That is funny.
It'd be cool though, but I also have people that in my family that are getting older and older by the day, and my mom already won't meet my kids. You know what I mean? So like, I don't want anyone else to miss out. Like my grandfather just turned fucking 80. You know, the other day. So like. I'll be 33 this year. No kid. It's just, it's one of those things.
And I wonder what his take on it would be as well, As how many kids does he have?
He has 2.
Okay.
Well, he has 1. Had 2.
Happens to the best of us, unfortunately.
Nah. Yeah, it does. Obviously, I don't, we can talk about death all day long. Death affects me in like a weird way.
I think...
Like I'm more scared to die myself than to talk about like people that I know have died.
Well, you're gonna react to it differently. I mean, dude, I think your upbringing with your parents may feed into that as well. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
I think like maybe that expressed emotion that you kind of learn from them is mirrored later in the generation.
Mm-hmm. I will say this though: once my mom did pass away, emotionally, I was like, well, "Fuck." There's not much more else you could do. Like, so everything's like, whatever.
You ever have like an album that you associate with? So we're music guys. Yeah. And then you gotta get like this attachment to something.
Are you talking about like what album helped me through my mom's death?
Right.
Oh, the worst one. The worst one.
The worst.
Yeah.
Drum roll.
Only because I listened to this album and it's 2 albums, I guess. 3. It'll be 3 albums. Okay.
3 albums.
One was helpful. The other 2 were just like, oh, I'm feeling sad for myself, right? The one that was okay. The 2 that were sad were City and Color, Find Your Love, and then the other one that came after that.
Someday.
Maybe.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that one. So I would just listen to them in Canada when I'd go on Canada trips. So that was emotionally attached to it. And then after my mom died, I listened to the newer one, and I kind of like, oh yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry, Mumford and Sons. I'm sorry, that's the one I was thinking of.
Nice.
Mumford and Sons, not City and Color. Mumford and Sons, the first one, Sign No More. Woo! That entire album. That entire album is like my mom's death. The other one that helped me out was 4 Years Strong.
The punk group.
Yeah, live or die trying, or something reminiscent of what is tattooed on my leg, but it's not the same thing. To be honest with you, the speech I gave at my mom's funeral was taken from a song on that album.
Really?
Yeah, part of it, part of the speech. It's cool.
Check it out. That's the best part about lyrics. Like, you can kind of be expressed by and you're going to relate to that. Somebody already having those emotions.
Mm-hmm. But I don't even think they're the emotion. Like, I don't even think that's the emotions that they have in the album. It's just some of the hardcore and punk albums are just so positive in a certain way, and there are aspects that,
focus on the lyrics.
Yeah, there are, but it's cool. But music is a soundtrack to your life, and you get stuck on these. You listen to an album and you're like sucked right back into wherever you were at that time, dude. It happens all the time.
I think it's awesome. I mean, you may even be somewhere else and think about the song that you've heard. If you're repeatedly there, I mean, it's funny. Mm-hmm. I do the same thing.
What albums for you take you back to when your mom died?
My mom is alive.
JK.